Good morning, good morning, good morning. We got that AM hustle action going on today. Today we're going to talk about how to start an online business and make it profitable in 1 to 3 years, step by step. There's a few things that you must do to make this happen. So let's just go over to the magic board and make sure that we still have volume, and we do. First thing you got to do, very first thing, is, all right, that's kind of weird. that's I don't know what's going on with that. That looks really strange. I'll tell you, I test everything except for this, and it gets to be real. All right, here we go. So the first thing you have to do is get real. This is one of the biggest problems online entrepreneurs have. They're not realistic. So that's the first thing you have to do. The second thing you have to do, and I want you to hear me and realize, you need to spend some damn money. This, hands down, is one of the biggest barriers to people making money online. There is this false presumption that you can make a lot of money online, but you don't have to spend any money. It's ridiculous, it is stupid, and it's holding you back. I have seen people in my comments over the years saying that based upon the free information, using free tools, that they should be able to make $1 million a year. It's just ridiculous. It's not sane. It don't make no sense. But we're going to get into some psychology on this, because there are many people who believe that and operate on those principles that I can make a lot of money without spending a dime. It is not cheap. It is not thrifty. It is not even being economical. It is stupid human tricks, and I'm going to explain to you why it is happening. Because you have folks over here who, for some reason, feel that they are so special that they can leverage no expertise into money. You got people who actually think that they can do this, and I'm gonna call out someone, Beatology, because I hopefully you're here, because you were saying that you're going to start a dating channel because you fundamentally disagreed with some of the things that I put out. Now, there's a difference between myself and you. I've actually done this stuff. I have not 10 years of dating experience. I have 30 compared to, how old are you? 30 years old? There ain't no way that you can compete with me. That's why I'm like, you disagree with me? You want to start a dating channel? Go for it. I want you to, because the minute you start, you're going to have all these topics, and then you're going to hit what I call an information gap. I have been fucking for damn near 35 years. I've been fucking longer than you've been alive. But for some reason, you feel that you can do this. You can leverage no expertise in the money. This is one of the most ludicrous things, and part of it becomes from being part of a single parent household, because I'm almost to the point where I can dictate and judge just based on how you act, because this is the elements of a woman. And what I'm saying is not to be sexual, but many women have very unrealistic expectations of life, not just men, but life. And they feel that they can get what they want regardless of what they don't bring to the table. Notice what I said, what they don't bring to the table. So if you as a man are out here thinking that you can leverage no expertise whatsoever into money, you're in your feminine. You're in your unrealistic. And this is where a lot of people get stuck, because they feel that they can make money online just through sheer willpower. All right. And I'm going to tell you something, and I want you guys to take this to heart. If I did not have a decade of business experience, my YouTube channel would have failed. It would have failed. It wouldn't be what it is. It wouldn't have made $8 million. It would have failed, because once you get business experience, once you get real, you start looking at things the way that they are, not the way that you want them to be. This is a very, very important thing for you guys to understand. Beatology's here. Awesome. Because once again, I'm talking to you. This is why I'm going to stay on your ass until you either say, you know what? I ain't going to do this dating thing because I'm not qualified, or you fucking do it and fail. And the reason I know you're going to fail is because you don't have enough experience. There's all these dating coaches, and the best ones have a lot of experience. You like this hacking thing that many of the millennials are into. It will work temporarily. You can hack some stuff. You can put some stuff together. But when you get to the point where you don't know what to do, like Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg created it. He did the coding. But who? Sheryl Sandberg and a bunch of other 50-some-year-olds run Facebook. Because Mark Zuckerberg doesn't have the knowledge to run it alone. He can't do it. If it was just Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook would not be what it is. So you cannot leverage no expertise, because that's what people are trying to do. And this goes back to getting real. Now, once you get real, once you realize that you have to spend some damn money, once you realize that you need to treat your online business like a real business, then you're going to be all up in the game. You're going to be all up in the game. So from day one, number one, it is a real business. This is one of the things that kills people. They start an online business. They treat it as a hobby, some to do, some for kicks, some for fun, and they don't treat it as a real business. When I started YouTube in 2009, and I started my publishing company, I treated it like a real business from day one. Needed incorporation, needed a business checking account, did all of that. Day one. You must project into the future that this thing's going to be successful. You can't treat it like a toy and expect it, because this is what's happening to a lot of these first wave YouTubers. Their channels are dying because they were just out here doing stuff and they were not treating it like a real business. So you got to treat it like a real business from day one. You need to incorporate. There's this one person who is going to start low-key hating any minute, who feels like, I'm just say this right here. If you start your online business, you need to get an LLC. You need to get your business checking accounts. Once again, business checking accounts. You need to do this on the faith that one day there will be money there. You need to spend money because one day there'll be more money. Because if you are acting too scared to start an LLC, which is $35 from what some people have posted, up to maybe $800 in California, you ain't being real. And if you ain't being real, your business is not going to make any real money. Just ain't. It's just not going to happen. So you got to really look at yourself. You got to be accountable to yourself and to your business. This is why 90-something% of online businesses do not work, fail, because the business owner is dicking around. Well, I'm just trying something. I'm just putting something out here. I don't know how it's going to work. Let's see how this is going to shape up. Which brings me to my next point. All right. I'm going to have to find another board because that's ridiculous. You need to, let's bring this down. This is one of the biggest problems after the excuses. It is stark raving, naked fear. You go into it expecting it to fail. And when it fails, you are not surprised that it failed because you went into it thinking it would fail. That is why it failed, because you were scared. You were just so scared. You were scared of telling people that you started a business and it didn't work out. You were scared of that. You were scared of actually starting something and it not working out. You were scared of being successful. Because see, when you're successful, success equals responsibility. And responsibility equals accountability. You ain't ready for that. So instead of putting your foot in it, working your ass off and creating this amazing, wonderful business, you half step, you don't try, you go out and maybe get an LLC, get some business cards printed up, and you're talking about you a CEO. But you don't know anything about sales. You don't know anything about marketing. You don't know anything about none of that. They ain't even on your radar because you're treating it like a plaything. Because you're full of this fear. You're full of this angst. And you ain't really done anything yet. That's what's so crazy about it. That's what's so crazy about it. All right. Now, for those of you who are just joining, this is an ad-free stream. Be sure to hit that super chat, $25, $50, $100, $500, whatever you want to do. Also, below the stream. I've had a lot of people ask for this, so we're going to see how it's going to go. You can get the Hustlers LLC for a 3-month payment plan based upon current pricing. It's $99.99. Let me be clear. I'm not giving this information away. I'm not going to make it super cheap because it's going to get expensive, because one of the things I'm going to do is the Hustlers LLC, and essentially I'm going to add it to the tab. I'm not going to create another course, but I'm going to create these weekly trainings for those of you who are actually business owners. Because if you're going to spend $3,000 for the Hustlers LLC, you're actually trying to do something. And I'm going to help you out. So once again, that's below. You can go ahead and grab that today. Now, let's get into the real training. I had to set this up. I had to warm you up. I had to actually talk about some stuff because, see, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to hear me talk all that stuff, and it's like, I ain't going to watch this video. This is weeding out the weak, weeding out those who are never, ever going to start a business. You ain't going to do it. You're just not. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so we're going to make this sucker fat. We're just going to get rid of all this. Now, you need to do the research on what kind of business you're going to start. Because I get this question like, what do I do? I don't know what you do. I don't know who you are. I don't know what kind of resources you have. I don't know none of that stuff. I know nothing. But you do. So you have got to take your little fingers to Google and research some business models and concepts that you can do. You may have resources that no one else has, but you out here trying to do business like everyone else. That's just stupid. All right. So the first thing that you need to do to create your online business that's profitable in 1 to 3 years is this. Well, it would help if I would hit the pencil thing, wouldn't it? You need to do this first. I think that's correct. If it's not, someone to correct me. Find an audience. This is the first thing that you should do. You should find an audience. 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 Most people are this. I think I just made up a word, but most folks are product centric. Find the right product and your problem be solved. Now, this is something that happens to many Amazon sellers, FBA and private label. They go out and they do all this research based on what competitors have already done. And they're like, yeah, I'm scaling up my business. Yeah, I'm stealing these ideals. Yeah, I'm doing all this, right? And they don't do their own, they don't do this. They don't look for audiences. They go for products. This is one of the fastest ways to go bankrupt, because what you're doing is you're counting on that someone else has done excellent product research. Now, this is the killer. Right now, you're seeing a lot of churn with Amazon sellers, which I predicted in my no eBay, no Amazon videos 2-3 years ago. Everyone is going for what I call bullshit products. And these are, you know what? I think I know what I can do. Yeah, I could do this. Oh well. Bullshit products. These are low cost, easy to ship, that's where the predominant market is going. And everyone's crowding in these lanes, right? So when you do this, find an audience, you're going to discover things that other people don't know. You're going to figure out some stuff that other people have not figured out. You're going to be able to develop a market. How many of you have a refrigerator in your house? Everybody that has a refrigerator, raise their hand. Now, just put a 1 in the comments, right? So why does everyone have a refrigerator in their house? Because you, I'll do it like this. Yo, not really. You need one. When you're looking for your audiences, you should find audiences where people need this thing, not want this thing, but they need this thing. People need washers and dryers. People need stoves. People need refrigerators. People need beds. People need sheets. People need, what else? What do people need? They need detergent. So when you're doing your audience research, you should be looking primarily at the things that people need. Businesses need a lot of services. Businesses need marketing. Business needs email services. Business need employment services. Now, some of these things are on Amazon. None of these things are on Amazon. When you get into the audience, when you get into the nuts and bolts of what people need, when you start talking to people, when you start getting into the consumer's mind, getting to the customer's mind, that's where a lot of money is. Look at the audience first, then figure out some products that audience will need. This works for any business model, because if you're selling a physical product, you're selling a service, you're selling an ebook, find the audience first, not the products. Let me get in here. Let's see what's going on in the chat room real quick. Johnny Walton, thank you for being the moderator. What's up, Be Real? Thanks for being the moderator. AKW Beats, Agent J Poole, Be Real, Charlatan. AKW Beats, been up since 9 p.m. working on rebuilding my email funnel. Then I'm restarting my ads Monday morning. It ain't cheap and time is money. Yep. What's up, Quest for Knowledge? Be Real going in. I see. Johnny Wallen, some people don't understand you have to spend money to make money. That's absolutely true. Definitely. What's going on here? He's going on 46. I don't know. Reality is just too hard. Roger Marine. That is the problem for many people. And this is one of the fundamental truths of the universe. You may not like the truth. You may not even want to hear the truth. But at some point, the truth is going to deal with all of us. So you can like go ahead and say, hey, truth, come here. Come in here for this big hug. Come in here. I'm going to embrace you. I'm going to deal with you. Or you can keep going like, I can't see it. It's going to hit every one of us. So definitely. You can't reach enough people to make money without money. Agent J. Poole, appreciate you. What's up, Mika Long? Quest for knowledge. I've been selling shoes and shirts on eBay because my Shopify drives no traffic. I hope to use a portion of these funds to fuel my own products and brand, but it definitely takes money. Quest for knowledge. I think the wiser you are with money, the less you have to spend overall, but it's a process. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Wyoming LLCs, there's a lot of good stuff about that. Here's the thing. You can operate an online business, and that's what we're talking about today, how to start an online business and a profitable online business in 1 to 3 years. Definitely. You can live in Hawaii. You can run your business. Because, see, once you're here on this internets, out here on the internets, on the mean streets of the internets, there's not a lot of rules yet. You can live in Hawaii, have your business and your banking in Wyoming all day long. 150 for an LLC? Anthony Johnson, if you think you can or can't, you're usually right. I agree. Charlatan, thank you for being the moderator. I'm just dropping some gems. Thank you, Johnny Walden, for the $25 super chat. Once again, this stream is not supported by ads, so you can go ahead and put that $25, $30, $50 super chat in there. Johnny Walden, is there any way to change the mindset of someone who doesn't understand you got to spend money to make money? Yes. I was hesitant. I knew that I had to spend money because let's go to my orientation with my online business, the Upscale Garage Sale. It had an online component and it had a physical sales component, which was the Upscale Garage Sale every Saturday. I did not spend any money on eBay or Amazon or Craigslist for that matter. Then fast forward YouTube around 2015, I realized I had to spend money, but I made so much money it made sense. So I'm a person that didn't want to spend money, didn't think that I needed to spend money, and then when I saw the need, I spent it. So once again, this person needs to be in business. When you're in business, a lot of your false assumptions and radical ideals will drop in the face of reality. So some people change. Look at all these ones. All these folks got refrigerators. Oh, I like this, Agent J. Poole. You don't change them. You let life beat them over the head, and maybe they come back humble after a financial ass kicking. That's funny. What's up, Donnie Breeze, Mo Grizzly, Mr. and Mrs. Fuller, James W. Donnie Breeze, I see people getting kicked off of Amazon for any and every reason lately. Once again, no eBay, no Amazon. Just put that in the title and watch those 3 or 4 videos. I predicted this. Quest for knowledge. Yes, because I currently live in Florida, but I got to pay all these fees and taxes. I'd rather do something there's less drive-bys. Charlotte, do I need to get 0 to $1 million? Yeah, you can go ahead and pick that up because it's going to be some interesting stuff that's going down in there. Whoa. Oh, my God. My battery. Hold on. This is about to disappear. Okay. All right, so let's get back to the training. All right, so just to be clear, the first step is you need to find an audience. That's the first thing you need to do. You don't need to go to China. You need to find an audience, and you should spend a good month up to 6 months researching this audience before you spend a penny, before you get into anything. You need to know, where do these people live? What do they think? What websites they hang out? You need to know all of this. So that is one of the things that you have got to get your hand on. Get your arms around that. All right, so what we're going to do is move to the next stage. So this is stage 2. Well, let's see. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more, all right? So, stage 2, you've already have figured out who your audience is. You know them very well. So stage 2 is stage 2. And this is very, very important. You need and device. So stage 2 is the marketing plan and device. And the devices are, let's just go ahead and go like this, are blogs, YouTube, Facebook groups, so blogs, YouTube, Facebook groups, podcast, because these are online businesses. You need a receptacle where you can get all of these people in one area. Because I know some of y'all are going to be shocked, but I'm going to do a Disruptive Male Facebook group. It ain't ready yet, but when it is, I'll let y'all know. Because this is stage 2 online business. You need a way to capture people, and then you need this, the marketing plan. You need the blog, the YouTube channel, Facebook groups, and everything. Then you need an email list, and then or a text list, which is better. And for everyone that is not on the text notification list, you need to get on it. This is about to be some hot stuff that's coming down. And you need a communication. I'm going to explain this. You don't need a communication protocol. How are you going to talk to these people? And you also need written goals. So stage 2 for online is the marketing plan and devices. Blog, YouTube channel, Facebook group, podcast. Or you can do an online forum. So those are the main devices, because if you're doing an online business, you need to have a way to communicate and talk to these people online. Then after you get this, then you capture their information either on the email list, text notification, so you can talk to them whenever. And then you need a communication protocol and written goals. Now the communication protocol is how long are you going to talk to them? I'll tell you mine. If you noticed on Disruptive Male, there is no marketing. There are no outbound links, and I'll tell you exactly why. YouTube will punish you if you send a lot of traffic off site. I've seen channels die just because of that. One of the things that saves me is I do a lot of live streams, so I have very high engagement. That's why the reason they haven't gotten rid of me, but they've tried to kill this channel several times. So if you start a new YouTube channel or a Facebook group or a podcast or a forum, be very aware of keeping these people in your system for a long time. So that looks crazy. All right, let me get rid of that. I'm going to make this a little bit more clear. All right. How long do you talk to your people? Now, I'll explain what's going down with disruptive mail. That's fine. I had a plan to get up to 100 videos before I really started sending traffic off of the platform. I'm at 68, 70, something like that. But I've changed that plan because so many people who are finding disruptive mail are coming here that I'm not going to do that. So disruptive mail, and this is advanced marketing device knowledge. Disruptive mail, I'm going to funnel them over here to buy. So when they leave, this channel is already compromised. So it's not going to really do any more damage while disruptive mail continue to grow. And I can tell you, I have videos on disruptive mail. I got one video that's over 10,000 views. The video is 6 weeks old. I have videos over here because YouTube throttles your reach. So the views I get here are people who really want to see this stuff. And I see another video that's growing. It's going to probably hit the 10,000 mark next month. And what's going to happen is probably at the 6-month mark, I'll have a lot of videos that people keep finding because YouTube is recommending these videos because I am not sending traffic off of the platform. This is one of the things that you have to be aware about of if you're going to do YouTube. YouTube is, to me, it's the most effective, but there's a lot of nuts and bolts. And when I do Digital Citizen, I'll put all the stuff in Digital Citizen. But this is stage 2. Marketing plan and devices, email lists. You got to set all of this stuff up, and this is going to cost you some money. Let's just go ahead and say it. It's going to cost you some money. My text notifications, it's like $500 a month just for that. Now, I have stopped the online advertising for this channel to go ahead and get some more juice, get some more squeeze, because it's starting to work, because the channel is starting to turn around a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. So that's why there isn't any paid traffic on this channel. All right, so let me get up here. Oh, it's easy to get kicked off eBay and Amazon. I did this video, I don't know how long ago, 5-6 years. And it's like, don't open up a retail or don't open up retail. I advise people against it. I railed against it. I said, do not do it. Right now, we're in the middle of a retail apocalypse. Toys R Us is going out of business. Sears is pretty much going out of business. Kmart is gone. Best Buy is hanging tough because they sell a lot of stuff online. Best Buy has made a lot of investments in selling stuff online in their email marketing. So they seem to be safe for now. And I also noticed that they don't put Best Buys in poor neighborhoods. They've probably closed some, but there are 2 Best Buys in this neighborhood. There's one by Perimeter and there's one by Lindbergh. And there's one in Edgewood, which is an up and coming neighborhood. So they're picking their strategy. What's up, A9 Dr. Funk? What's up, JP? Prosperous Mama needs her wine. What's up? Prosperous musician. So I create a course on LinkedIn marketing for musicians and use YouTube and Facebook free and pay the ads to drive traffic to it. Kind of something like that, because one of the things with building your courses, you got to figure out what people want, and you can ask them and they're not going to tell you. So that's the first thing you got to nail down, because you could build a course and you can create a Facebook group and do all that and still make no money. So just, a lesson from someone who is currently in the fire. What's up, Davida? Amazon just sent me an email to join their service program for my electric company, but I want the texting notifications from my other service in the company. I don't know what Amazon is doing with that. I think Amazon is trying to create its own Angie's List. I don't know, but I would be careful with that, because how much money is Amazon going to charge for allowing you to be on there? That's something I would look at. AKW Beats, start learning to use LinkedIn. That's where all the music supervisors are. Well, once again, I don't know anything about that, but hey, please, if you got any information, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Davida Johnson, I have an online service business. What's up, Green Machine? Davida, I want a brick and mortar call center office. I'm going to tell you something you can do, and it's illegal. It's not like, it's like speeding illegal. As long as you stay under a certain speed limit, you don't get arrested. I would, if I was going to start a call center, I would find a warehouse. I would find a warehouse in the boonies where the code enforcement really don't care and stuff. Because if you are an office in the boonies, because you get an office, it adds up quick. I'm trying to tell you. What's up, Rolo Beats? Thank you, Donnie Breeze. Quest for knowledge. Just curious, how many businesses do you own? Why do you want to know that? You answer my question, and I might answer yours. Because I've said this several times in several videos. All right, so let's get back to number 2. And once again, this is a community-supported stream. You can donate 25, 30, 50, 60, 500 bucks and support the cause, because I'm giving you the game. All right, so stage 2, online business marketing plan and devices. You need your blog, YouTube channel, Facebook, podcast, forum. Now, why do you need these devices? You need a way to talk to people that is not always selling directly, but you can always be selling indirectly by having these things. So you definitely need that email list, text notification list, which I think is much better, and the communication protocol. How long do you plan to talk to these people? And I'm going to kind of, let's see, where can we go with this? You know what? What I'm going to do is erase that, because this is important. And this is why you need to be doing some stuff. So you will talk to these people 1 year to 3 years. That's how long you need to talk to them. Now, when I started this channel, I talked to people for 6 months. But once again, I had business experience. I had marketing experience. I had sales experience. If you got marketing experience, sales experience, you can cut this in half. But if you're just like brand new, this is what you got to do. And this is why you got to pick some, and this is why you got to get started today versus waiting until things shape up. Definitely got to do that. Sure thing, Davida. Blogging helps. Quest for knowledge. I guess because I want to know how thin is spreading yourself. Too thin because I got a lot of areas and I won't cross with them. All right, fair enough. I have currently 4 businesses: Hustlers Kung Fu, Mac Daddy Media, and 2 other ones that have nothing to do with what we're doing here. And the 2 other ones, I am what's called a passive investor. I don't really do anything. I just got some money up in there. So the only thing that I'm putting myself to, and that's actually, that's a better question, I guess, because I want to know if you're spreading yourself too thin. I only have 2 primary businesses that I'm active in. Just 2. So that's that. Doug, what types I don't have any retail businesses. What are you talking about? I have I don't have any physical product businesses whatsoever. So I don't know where you got that from. I have none. None. I haven't checked on Bitcoin. I know we got a few more days for May's over, but I haven't checked on it. Roller Beats, how long till the next recession? I figure 15 to 20 months. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I believe is going to happen. All right, so we're going to get to stage 3. Go ahead and get all this out of there. All right. So now stage 3 is going to be fun. If I can, there we go. Stage 3. You need your legal structure, and tax strategy. So this is stage 3. This is the LLC holding. All right. So I believe everyone needs to have a holding company. And then you have child corps. Now, why is this? See, the beauty of this, creating this holding company, let's say you create this company in 15 years, you want to do something else. Well, you still have this holding company, and you just create a new LLC, but this is still 15 years. Now, I know this seems like a long time away, but when I was at one of these companies I used to work for briefly, the father came in, and it was just amazing that Scott got this 35-year-old company. I mean, a 35-year-old company with bank accounts, a credit rating, and money in the bank. It was just like, that's what opened up my mind to the powers of an LLC, because if you're just looking at hit it and quit it, this seems too long, but you can give this to your kids tax-free if you know what you're doing. You can save taxes, shelter money, hide money. There's so many things you can do. That's why I've broadened it up. The Hustlers LLC, links below. You can get in. It's $1,000 for 3 months. That's the payment plan. Because I'm going to do a lot of stuff in there. And I'm going to talk about the tax strategy, the legal structures, because you got to think about what's your intention. Because this is, once again, this is why I put out the video where with the estate planning, you got to think about some stuff, because you can start a business that will not suit your lifestyle. And it can be a killer, because you get addicted to making that money, but you don't like what you do. So there's legal, here we go. We're going to go black. There's legal considerations. And let's talk about an LLC versus a sole proprietor. If you're going to be like a handyman, you're going to sell on Amazon, you're going to sell on eBay, you could probably get away with being a sole proprietor because you're not really messing around with customers. But if you plan on growing, you plan on getting bigger, you plan on hiring employees, you may or may not be renting office space, you're going to need an LLC. I don't know what's this whole thing with people wanting to stay a sole prop. To me, it's just like, I'm scared. I don't want to get big. Then you're going to need tax strategy because taxes will erode your wealth quicker than anything else. Then you're going to need your business money plan. And I always advise entrepreneurs, there we go, to take a little as money as possible out of their business. Because the money you take out your business will be taxed. This is why I am not taking any money out of the business. There's no money for me to take on paper. And you start taking this money out, and you start taking out a lot of money, you're going to be paying a lot of money on taxes on the money that you pull out for yourself that could be better spent in the company. This is why I always say take a bare bones salary. You know, your company's doing 10 million. Okay, yeah, you could take 500,000 out. You could take $1 million out. But if your company ain't doing 2 million, you want as much money in the company as possible. And then let's say I'm going to give you what I plan on doing. What I plan on doing. All right, let's see what's going on in this chat room. Let's see. Let me roll back. Prosperous musician, thanks for continuing to inspire and educate me to think of a good living online and see that it's possible. I had a friend just yesterday who started an online e-commerce store. And I'll never forget this because one day he called me up and he said, "This is real." And I was like, "What do you mean it's real?" It's like, I sold some and I got some money. I think until that moment, most people don't think this stuff is real. This goes back to what I was talking about in stage 1. You got to treat it as it's a real business from day one. You have so many things that are going on, but most people, until some money crosses their palm, it ain't real. And that's the big fundamental flaw, because it's very hard for you to work out really, really hard on something that ain't real. It don't make no sense. It just doesn't. JP, I want to build an online service that will cater to train young black engineers and help them network with black professionals. Main purpose is to mentor and create my army of black engineers. JP, I got a whole different suggestion for you. What you want to do is create a top-notch engineering firm and then do that as a sideline. You will make way more money, because when you could say, "Hey, I'm JP, I got this $10 million engineering firm over here, and then just to give back to the community, I have this situation, but since there's cost, I'm charging this." Whereas that's your whole thing, it could look like you couldn't make it as an engineer. This is what some people will think. Not all people, but I'm not saying you're not a good engineer and nothing like that, but I'm just telling you how people think. What's up, Tiger Shark? Yeah, retail is a mess. Sam, someone beat me to it. All right. Oh, look at this. Y'all up in here networking in these comments. I love it. Martin Johnson, I hate government contracts. I don't believe in, for me, if you want to do it, you got expertise, knock yourself out. But fundamentally, as a black person, I don't like government contracts. I don't like any of that. Now, there's a lot of people who made a lot of money from that. I prefer to stay in the private sector. That's just my opinion. I'm just saying this not to sway your decision. If you got some ends on some government contracts, knock yourself out. I just don't like them. All right, so now we're back to stage 3. Now, when should you do these LLCs? Because you got stage 1, stage 2. I think once you've got a good handle, because an LLC is so cheap to set up, and their banking accounts, let's see, let me just make this better, because this looks kind of raggedy. Because I would suggest after you've done your customer, your audience research, I would then set up the LLC. At that point, I would set up the LLC. Because let's say it takes you 3 years to get your audience research done. Your LLC is getting older and maturing, right? So that's a wonderful thing. Because I'm going to clean this up and make it a whole lot better, because that just looked really raggedy. So we're going to redo stage 3, and I'm going to give you all the steps. Okay. All right, so we should be a little bit better. All right, so we're going to go with the blue, because I like the blue. There. Stage 3. We're going to go with legal, tax. I don't know why that T is all crooked. I think I'm going to have to reduce the size of this. Make my loops a little bit bigger. All right. So, legal, tax, banking, legal, tax, banking, and investment. So you will start this after, because it really doesn't cost you a lot of money to do audience research. After you do your audience research and your tax will include your LLC, holding company, and articles of organization. Then your banking, you will have your 4 to 5 checking accounts. And then you would have investments into business credit. Let's say you have a job, right? And you're in your audience research phase. So what you should do is form your LLC, give it a name. I would say form your holding company, then form an operating company, get the checking accounts through the operating company. Then while you have a job, I would apply for business credit. I would apply for 3 or 4 business credit cards, Chase Inc., American Express, what have you. And then I would also get a line of credit while you have a job. Now, this is the advanced game, because while you have a job, I would get the 3 or 4 business checking account. The business credit cards. I would also get 3 to 4 lines of credit at 2 or 3 different banks. It's not too hard to get a $15,000 to $20,000 line of credit. So now you have business credit cards, you have lines of credits based upon your job income, but now you can have 50 to 100K worth of money. But see, now you're doing your audience research. So when it comes time for you to build your website, to do your YouTube channel, you can use the business credit money. And another thing with the business credit is those cards don't report on your personal credit report. So let's just say in the process of building your business, you get 50K in debt, but oh, look, here on your personal credit report, you got like a 775 because all your stuff is clean. You don't have a lot of you don't have balances and stuff. So this is one of the things, and comes from the planning. This comes from knowing what to do, what steps to take, because typically what many people do is quit their job, come out here, start hustling, start putting stuff together, and then they jack up their credit because they've got all this stuff in their personal credit. Game, hit that super chat, 25, 30, 40 bucks, 100 bucks, 50 bucks. Do what you got to do. So let's see. Go back. AKW Beats, thanks for the $5 super chat. Keep telling the truth. Pain in the ass. Yeah, a lot of people feel the same way. Jawan Johnson, an LLC is not $200 in Atlanta. It's $100 in the state of Georgia. Fuck the government. Be ready. What is it about government contracts you don't like? I'm gonna break real with y'all. Us people who are brown, we ain't supposed to be good at shit. We ain't supposed to be out here to compete in the private sector. We supposed to be trying to get all these government jobs, government contracts, and I say fuck that. So that's primarily the reason I wasn't gonna say it, but look, I don't want to be known as like, I got some white supremacists who come on this channel from time to time. But you know what? One thing they can't say, they cannot say that I got where I am due to affirmative action. They can't say it. They may want to say it, but they can't say it because I've been out here killing dragons in the private sector, making money, making millions of dollars out here in the fucking private sector. They can't say that shit. That's why I don't like no fucking government contracts. Also, in a downturn, you could be the first to go, or they can cancel a contract at any time. To me, it's just bad policy. But for me as a black man, I don't want shit to do with the government. I don't want any food stamps. I don't want any welfare. I don't want any shit. I don't want none of that shit. I don't want any government contracts. That's why I don't like government contracts. It's just a bitch move to me. There, I said it. All right. What's up, Mentor Shelley? Ganj, be real. For someone inside, I can tell you that it takes the government a long ass time to award contracts, and more than likely, the profits won't be as lucrative as the private sector. Hey, that's it. I like that. D. Hectors, let's say I live in New York, plan to relocate to Georgia in 3 to 5 years. What state should I form an LLC in? If you have an online business and you're not going to be going to any banks in Georgia, you can do it in New York. But from a cost standpoint, I would do Georgia because it's something else. Like New York they got this stupid publishing deal where it's like $800 between the cost of getting your LLC and publishing. California got some stuff. So if you're going to move to Georgia, I would fly down here after I form my LLC and I would set up my banking here. That's a good question because it's definitely cheaper here in Georgia. Deveda, I have all that except business credit, bank credit cards from being self-employed. I wouldn't be surprised, Stefan, if speaking of government contracts, I heard the president signed a bill that makes it easier to fire federal employees. As a contractor, you couldn't harvest. You could harvest all that best government federal talent. Sure thing, Martin Johnson. I know, man. Yeah, Roger. What are you talking about, Margarine? About the government contract? Yeah, because I just know I don't want anything to do with it because I don't want anyone to ever say that like, well, Glendon got to where he is because of affirmative action. Fuck that shit. Dang. Seems like there's a lot of sloth in the government. Let's see. Yes, lots of money in the free market and you have to sell. Most folks want security of government contracts. They want some money by filling out the paperwork, then sell. Sure thing, be ready. You're dropping that fire. Thanks for the $20 super chat, Jay Preston. Because essentially that's the whole thing, because I need to do a section in the Hustlers LLC for people who have like, let's say you have a job, let's say you're making 150, right? You can probably get like $500,000 worth of business credit off of your W-2 income. And then when you start spending, your personal credit profile stays nice and fat. Your FICO score stays high. Ganja, I noticed a lot of minority companies, Indians hanging out on the government boob at work. Hey, they figured it out. I'm just saying you can make huge margins as government contracts as it stands. That could change later. I think that if we ever get someone who's real about changing up the government, that will change, because I think with Donald in office, probably you'll be able to rip off the government as long as you want to. I'm just saying, for me, I don't want that being anywhere near me. When I made my first 100K a year, I had a job. When I made my first 100K a year as a self-employed person, as a business owner, I was fucking thrilled. I was over the top happy. It was definitely a much better feeling, because I knew that I did this from my own energy, my own effort, my talent, and no one helped me. I didn't have any government loans. Shit, I didn't have any loans. I didn't do that. I did this all organically. So I started getting loans. I was throwing good money after bad money, but I'll talk about that later. I'm about to move. It's hard to secure the apartment as a self-employed person. Quest for knowledge. Once again, you have a company. You go ahead and use your accounting software and you print up some pay stubs saying whatever you want them to say. Once again, they don't check your company. They don't like, well, let's go back and see if this company is a real company. I applied for a credit card. Well, I do work for Mac Daddy Media. They didn't investigate Mac Daddy Media. They investigated me, and it's like, looked at my credit. Oh, okay, yeah, we can give him a credit card. They ain't look at Mac Daddy Media. Roger Marine, I'm going to laugh my ass off when I make millions and the government had nothing to do with it. I will let the white folks know. I mean, that's one of the reasons that a lot of people hate me, because I've done this out here in the private sector. And I want you guys to know the joy and the feeling, the freedom, because there's so much money out here. There's so much money. The Genesis Project. None of this seems to be real until the money appeared, but nothing happened until I actually started to move on what you've been saying. Appreciate the knowledge, always learning. Yeah, because that's the big barrier. That's like stage one. You know, you got to go through that process, because you have to work really, really, really hard. and there ain't no money coming in here. But most of us have been conditioned because, like the greatest generation, they were conditioned work, 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 save, then get. We've been conditioned, bam, get, then pay for it later. And that's really going away because you still got 3 and 4 people living in an apartment because none of them can afford it. I had a client who lived in the penthouse in New York, and she said she was one of the only one that she knew of that lived by herself. Only one. Eric Williams, sadly, most folks think they can't get a 6-figure job without the government. Really? What strange witchcraft is that? What strange witchcraft is that? You can make 6 figures washing cars within a year if you hustle. You're going to be out there. You're going to be tan because you're going to be out there in that sun. But there's so many. Oh, man. That's crazy, Erica. That's crazy. Thanks for the $25 super chat, the Genesis Project. Appreciate you. I know 2 coworkers who want to quit but afraid of losing their 6-figure job. That's wild, man. I think, I'll break a little real. When I got laid off for the 3rd time, I was destroyed. And it wasn't no 6-figure job. I don't even think I was making, I wasn't even making 30 grand. My identity was so tied up in my job that I think that's the thing that broke me and made me become the person I am today, because I was like, I am never going through this again. I think that's another reason that I don't want to do anything with government contracts, because I am a narcissist and I like the feeling of saying I did that shit without any help. I love saying that. It's one of It's one of the best feelings in the world. And I think that's one, because like when in business environments, when they used to give me those RFPs, requests for proposals, man, I used to drag my legs on that. I just did not want to do it because, as someone said in here, they're slow to approve. And, I was the affirmative action person in the company to do affirmative action shit, because none of the salespeople wanted to do it because they knew they would be losing money because they were not out there killing dragons and hustling. Wow, the Genesis Project. That's wild. Josh Barr, people love the government cheese. At my place of employment, it's the same way. The strange witchcraft is limited thinking. Wow. Ganja, that's funny. That is funny. All right, but that's it. Those are the 3 stages of starting. Well, actually, that's most of that. There's another period I need to get into. Now, once you put all this together, then you start selling. That's going to be a big challenge for people who don't sell, because a lot of people feel that it is bad to sell. They feel that it is wrong to sell. They just want people to, kind of like these beta males that want these fine chicks to just drop panties in the middle of the street without them doing anything. Part of it is your own narcissism. You think what you're doing is so good, is so cool that people should just buy it. Apple has to push products. BMW has to push products. Cartier has to push products. Gucci has to push products. They market and advertise to the tune of billions of dollars each per year. So if Gucci, Cartier, they ain't above advertising, marketing, and selling, why should you be above it? Roll up your sleeves, get into it. Glenda, I'm working at a commercial driving, but not going to get a pressure. But now I'm going to get a pressure washer and truck just in case. You know that there's a guy that I used to know. I don't know him anymore, but he used to go to truck yards and clean trucks with the pressure washer. And I mean, he would like get, I think, $150, $200 a truck, and he'll clean 5 or 6 trucks a day and make a G. So just something to think about. Eric Williams, I know a 44-year-old dude scared to get out out of Army, even though he's an engineer and he can make real money, his friends are the same way. If he's 44 years old, shouldn't he be close to retirement? Shouldn't he have his retirement? Sounds like he don't want to work. The Hectric's job equals no responsibility. That regular paycheck and the lifestyle it pays for is hard for most to leave. I can feel that, man. I can feel that because let's see. Go ahead and do that. Because when you work for yourself, you actually have to work. You actually have to work. You don't work, you don't kill nothing, you don't eat nothing. I like that, Roger Marine. I've not worked for a company in 6 years. I get nothing from the government. I make my own money and pay all my expenses. Troy Glover, I used to work for a defense contractor, got laid off on my birthday. Luckily, we had a family business that kept it moving like nothing happened. That is one of the reasons that you guys need to get started. There's the story of Morris. Morris bought my first course and book. I think he spent $150. This was 2009. And I had a resale Facebook group. I gave it to him because I wasn't doing resale and it didn't make any sense for me to keep having it. Morris sent me this email, which I'm still proud of. He said, Glennon, I just got laid off today. And he said, you know what? I ain't even worried because I was making more money from the storage auction business than I was making from my job. Thanks for everything you do. That is a success story. And that's what I want you guys to do, because you don't know when this job going to say, see you later. Goodbye. It's about the numbers. Even Google has to push product. You're right, Stefan. Andrew, too many shitty salespeople have ruined people's perception of selling. I would agree with that, because once again, selling is this process that I just gave you, this 3-stage process where you can start a profitable business in 1 to 3 years. 1, find the audience. Find the audience, get to know the audience, talk to the audience on the phone, have a meeting with the audience, figure out what they want. Then when you figure out, because this whole process is selling. This is selling. Selling isn't like, you know what? This is Johnny G. I'm so cool. I'm such a fly salesman. I can sell ice to Eskimos. That's bullshit. Real selling is solving people's problems. That's real selling. Pamela C., a scared mindset will keep you in a job you don't like. Has nothing to do with your goals and help you up your game. True. Davida, I hadn't had a job in over 6 years. Congratulations. He went in late, but yeah, they told him to drop those papers. What? He's getting riffed? Rifted is reduction in force. They're kicking your ass out the Army. Martin Johnson, yes. Everybody, I want you to watch this stream about 4 or 5 times. Indeed, Roger Marine. Andrew Jacob, yes, selling is solving problems. So with that, I'm going to leave. I'll be back later on tonight with a disruptive mail, Jim. But for now, I want you to go below the video. For those of you who are really building businesses, it's gotten a little easier to get the Hustler LLC. There's a 3-month payment plan. It's $9.99 each month. And then we're going to start some other stuff. So you're going to definitely want to get into that. And for those of you who want to be part of Disruptive Mail, once again, if you spend $750 or more, I'll put you in there. So everyone that buys the Hustlers LLC on the payment plan, you will get Disruptive Mail. And I've got some bundles and stuff. Just go ahead below, check out what you need to check out. And once again, everyone should be added to Disruptive Mail that paid the amount of monies that they were supposed to pay. If you haven't, go ahead and register. I got a lot of people that registered that didn't meet the threshold. I'm going to have to send them some emails, but we'll talk about that. All right, so be sure to subscribe. Be sure to share this video with people that you feel will need it. And be sure to watch this video 3 to 5 times, because I'm telling you, it's loaded with some information. So with that, I'll see you guys later. You have a good Sunday, and I am out.